Welcome to the Culture and Clarity Podcast, where two Caribbean-born therapists unpack life, identity, and mental health across cultures.
Welcome to numero uno.
Yes, first episode
of Culture and Clarity. And our slogan is?
Grounded in culture, growing in clarity.
Listen, first of all, you all need to know how long it took for us to get here.
I know.
To this
lots of
point.
conversations, lots of dinner talks, but that's the fun thing about it though, right? Like we didn't expect to do this.
No.
We didn't, but we've met so many times, talked about so many things that we're like, hey, this should be something. We need a community for it.
We do.
Like we need a group.
We need something.
Caribbean folks, like we should have some space.
We need something. And so for those that know us outside of this space, I promise you that you will still learn new things about us.
That's true. Because you know what? I'm going to learn a lot of things about you.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
And so we are here to invite you to relax with us, to listen and learn with us, to comment and to provide your feedback.
For sure.
Because we're putting this everywhere. We're putting this everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay? Instagram, TikTok
Facebook,
shop, not TikTok shop.
TikTok shop. That is so funny. Not TikTok shop, folks. You telling your age. No, I'm kidding. But we are going to be everywhere where we should be because, again, I think it's time. I think it's time. I do see a lot of Caribbean influencers, right? But we don't talk about mental health in these places, right? No. If we do, we joke about it. You know, we touch on it briefly, but I think that's the good thing and hopefully it will come across that way to our listening audience or our viewing audience, right? So that they can see that this is a space where we really need to talk about some silence, some silent truths and some things that we try to shy away from. Because as Caribbean people, you have mental health everywhere, right? It is what it is. Yep. And we need to do better. Absolutely. Right? In saying, hey, listen, we need to connect some dots. We need to try to figure things out. We need to try to shift a little bit. So I'm happy that we're choosing to do this and stepping outside of our professional selves, so to speak, because we're still going to be in that therapist
so in that role,
right?
A little bit.
Right. And I hope that people will take away what they need to from this podcast.
And so, without further ado, because we just jump right in. Y'all heard us starting to talk. But since this is episode 1.
Sure. You're going to introduce yourself?
My friend. No, I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to invite you to start. Who are you?
Who am I? Well, I'm a whole person, first of all. I know some people may not believe that, but I'm going to preach that as we continue this podcast, right? We're whole people because that is the healthier space to be in. And so I'm not just a doctor. I'm not just Dr. Kaiya Nash. To my clients, I am, of course. Outside of that, I'm not. You're not allowed to call me that. I can be one of these people where, hey, I can remove myself from some of that. I don't have to stay in that place all of the time. Yeah. It does go with me wherever I go,
Absolutely.
right? So I am Dr. Kaiya Nash. I'm a mental health provider. I've been doing it for about more than 10 years. Have my own practice. So I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm a strong Caribbean woman, which you will hear about in one of our episodes coming up. But I'm learning how to be soft, right? And being able to ask for rest, right? And know that that's okay. I'm a mom, right? I have 2 young adult children. They are too funny. I'm grateful that my son just graduated college back in May, and my daughter's doing her thing. She's finishing up her courses as well.
Awesome.
So I'm busy on that front. But, again, I'm a friend, I'm a cousin, I'm a peer, I'm all of these things, right? So that's just me, and I like to have fun, and I'm a traveler.
Absolutely.
Surprise, surprise.
I mean,
that's my therapy.
And Ahsoka.
Oh, yes.
Come on now, tell the truth.
But you know what's so interesting that some people don't know? Because I do enjoy doing Carnival, specifically in Trinidad. Been doing it for more than 12 years. Reggae is my first love.
Is it? I would have never thought that.
I know. Reggae is my absolute first love. I used to joke and say that I'm going to have a reggae wedding. I was going to have everyone come down the aisle, bop into reggae music. I did get married in Jamaica. Okay. Jamaica is definitely a culture that I married into. And so a lot of things that shaped me too, I can say I got from that, aspect of my life. But yeah, man, reggae is really it still is. It's just that reggae has gone to a different place now than when it was back in the 90s, when it was, the thing. Hello.
You were banging on all the DJ
90s dance hall. What? Hello. But now I'm more into soca, but hello, reggae and soca are the two things my kids can tell you that for sure you're going to hear in my car. Yeah. For sure.
And you've definitely passed that on to your kids.
Oh my gosh. You can't tell them, baby.
You have passed that on.
Hello. Yeah. I love it though. And I love the fact that they're able to own that.
Yeah.
Their Caribbean heritage, right? Yeah. Because sometimes unfortunately, for whatever reason, some people don't, when they're not born in the actual region. But yeah, man, you can't tell them. They're not Caribbean.
I don't blame. Hello.
I think that they should. Yeah. I think they have every right to.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now, what about you? Introduce yourself.
Well, hello. I am professionally Dr. Deondra Smith.
Yes. You're a whole person as well.
I am a whole person. Oh my goodness, I wear a lot of hats.
Oh, yes, you do.
But professionally, I am a licensed psychologist. Business owner as well. Yes. And also I am a mommy. Oh my goodness. Now I have to correct myself. I was going to say 5 and 4, but 6.
There you go.
And 4-year-old.
Because your son just had a birthday.
My son just had a birthday.
And he's a Sagittarius.
And he is.
Everyone needs one in their life. Guess who's a Sagittarius too? I forgot that as my introduction. I'm saying. You don't leave that out. Deondra, please. Hello.
Clearly. Sagittarius won't let you leave it out. But my son, yes, he's 6 and 4, and my daughter's 4. I am a wife. Also, I am married to a Caribbean man. I'm from the 242. Shorty, what it do? First of all.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. That was a song back in the day. We don't even sing that song anymore.
Oh my gosh.
But I am from the Bahamas. If you did not know that was the area code.
So funny.
The area code for the Bahamas.
242.
And 242. And my husband is also Bahamian as well. What else about me?
You're a friend?
I'm a friend.
Hello.
I'm a daughter. I'm a sister.
That's right.
Granddaughter, godmother.
Yes.
It's a lot.
And here's the thing. I know that we're saying that we're whole people and people may not understand why, but it's important. Identity is a thing, and we have to be sure that we are recognizing that, again, there are other aspects of our lives, right, that make us who we are. And so it's important to highlight that. That can get lost very easily.
True.
As you know, we'll talk about, one of our topics with, being a strong Caribbean woman. It can get really lost. And so we need to remember that, hey, I'm not just in this role. I can kind of transfer back and forth if I need to. And you should.
Absolutely.
In order to be healthy. So
I have a question for you.
Tell me.
First part, what makes you Caribbean? Second part, how has your Caribbean identity informed your profession as a mental health clinician?
That second part is tricky.
That's tricky. Okay, let's start with the first one.
What's the first part? Fine.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm Caribbean because I was born in the Caribbean, right? I mean, I was born in U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas specifically. Spent the first 13 years of my life there. We relocated age 13, which you'll hear in another episode about my migration story. And so obviously, being born there, being able to be influenced by community. That's where my story began. That's where my journey begins. And so, it's the food that I eat, the values that I have, the music that I listen to, right? It's all of these things that make me Caribbean. You know what I mean? What about you? What makes you Caribbean? Yeah.
Same. So this will also be a part of my migration story, but some might beg to differ, but I was born outside of the Caribbean, but raised by Caribbean parent, a Caribbean parent, as well as raised in Caribbean culture on mainland, right? And I say mainland meaning in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And so
that's interesting. So you guys say mainland as the Bahamas?
No, when I say mainland, I mean in terms of like actually being from the Bahamas, like actually raised on the ground on the island. But no, we don't use mainland. We use family islands
right.
for all of the outer
I've
islands.
Heard that.
Yeah, and then we use Nassau.
Well, see, speaking of which, again, we're going to learn about each other. Yeah. Even though we've been friends for quite some time. Yeah. I know that there's a difference, right? When you say family islands, how many?
So the Bahamas is an archipelago that is made up of 700 islands and keys. Okay?
700?
700.
And I've been there 3 times. I had no idea.
We are big. We are large, right? Now, inhabited islands are a little bit different, right? Okay. But in terms of just what makes up the Bahamas, 700 islands and keys. Wow. So when we talk about family islands, we are speaking of islands that are outside of... I would say either the capital, New Providence, as well as there were some other islands, I think, that are not considered family islands. Y'all don't take my vehement con. Y'all don't revoke it. Don't revoke it. No. But yeah, so that's what we mean when we talk about family islands. So I am from New Providence. Okay. Nassau, as many call it, which would be considered city. Okay. In comparison
so you're a city girl.
Right. They would consider me a city girl. In comparison, right. No, not that city girl. No.
Not in that condo.
Not that city girl. But they would consider me a city girl in comparison to, family islands. Okay. But yes, so that's where, that's where I'm from. That's who that, and in terms of your question of what makes me Caribbean. So, the food, as you mentioned, the value system, the music. Yeah. Honestly, even my my faith makes me Caribbean. Yeah. That experience of just being raised in heavy faith-based, Christian-based nation too. Right. And what else makes me Caribbean? Man, just feel it in my bones.
There you go. Your personality.
Yeah, you feel it in your bones.
You can, and your personality can tell that sometimes too, that you're Caribbean, right? Again, we have a certain thing about us, I guess. It's just in us. But interesting when you said, you weren't raised, you were born in the Bahamas, but you were raised. Yeah. But it still doesn't take away your identity though, right? And I think some people struggle with that, and feeling like, well, I wasn't born there, so I really, cut it out.
And you brought it up even with your kids, where you said you can't tell them that they're not Caribbean.
Hello.
And even though they weren't born in the Caribbean, they are more Caribbean than so many people that I know.
I had a friend said to me one time, she came over maybe we were hanging out and the kids were there, and she said, Kaiya, your kids are Caribbean,
Hello?
I said, hello. I said, what do you mean? She said, the way they behave is so Caribbean. Yeah.
Let me tell you, my kids, they are 4 and 6, right? And as I mentioned earlier, and they go back to the Bahamas. We make multiple trips, often. Right? They know that there is another country that they belong to already, right?
That's lovely.
And so we eat tuna and tuna in the can. Okay, right? We'll eat that and grits. That's a staple.
A local dish for you guys.
Staple breakfast, right? Okay. My children ask for tuna and grits. Almost every weekend.
Wow.
Right? Again, you cannot tell my kids that they are not behaving.
Yeah, even in my case, right? People may not realize that I left at 13. Again, you'll hear my migration story later on, but you can't take those years away from me. Those are my formative years. This is where I spent. Again, I got the culture, from 1 to 13, right? Yeah. It's just in me. And, again, you can't take away lived experience. You absolutely cannot, you know? And so with the second question, when you ask, how did it inform my...
Your mental health.
It's still a thing. It's still in progress. It really is, but I do believe, though, growing up in a home where there was some tension, within my mom and dad's marriage, it was a thing where I always felt like I wish I had a space where I could talk some of this stuff out. Because, in Caribbean culture, why we're doing this podcast. We're not beating up on our culture, right? Again, we love our culture. I love being Caribbean, but there are some things that we do really need to address and just to kind of talk about a little bit. And so I wish I had a space where I could talk a little bit more or just talk at all about feelings, right? About, how am I feeling about a certain thing? And so here we go. We're jumping into stuff, right? This is what we're here for.
But that's a good point, right? That I didn't really think of in terms of how being Caribbean informed this path of mental health work, right? But you're right. I remember being a child and always leaning towards being the air for other people.
Yes, see, that was me too.
And I said ear.
Yeah.
Just so you all know, y'all heard me say air because that's how I speak. But being an air for someone, right? And you're right. That was part of it, is feeling as if we're like we have limited space to be vulnerable, to be transparent. So that was part of it. You know, I think for me, the way that it has informed how I show up now is that it has widened my lens on how people experience their world.
Absolutely.
Right. And that how we cannot assume that because someone looks a certain way that they are of this particular box.
True. That's very true.
Because people might look at you and I and just say, well, y'all are African American.
Right.
Not understanding that no. Right. Our background is layered.
Correct.
Right? We have other experiences that make us who we are. So I think that is one way it has informed. Another way that it has informed my work as, I think, a business owner. And some of y'all some of my team members might be watching, but they know this.
Joy.
When they when they walk into a building.
Greetings. Hello. My kids even pick up on that. Girl, I can give some stories. If you don't know how to greet in the Caribbean culture, this is a thing. It's a thing.
I am told. I let one
you
of
walk
my
into a room.
I let one of my my staff. She came in and she's such a sweetheart. She really is, and she probably knows exactly what I'm talking about her. But she came in one morning and she just put her stuff down, and I had to tell her. No-no. I said, now listen, your boss is a Caribbean woman. And where we come from, you just say good morning. And that's it. She said, okay, good morning. And then she went right back and put herself down.
Not you letting her know. I'm Caribbean.
But that's a prime example, I think, of how being Caribbean follows us, right?
Wherever you go.
Wherever you go.
Your home
and
is,
I think that's just one of those moments. But definitely, oh my goodness, it's like the value system is different.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And it's so funny you say this because I saw online recently, someone was saying, why do we as a people expect that or get upset when other cultures don't follow this norm, right? And I get that because his point was, if they don't know, if it's just not their thing, it's not their thing. Correct. But we shouldn't expect that we're always the standard I'm not saying that, but you're saying, hey, it's nice. I think this is more helpful for me when you walk in or if I walk in, I'll do the same thing. It doesn't go one way. It goes both ways, right? I can say good morning as well too. So don't be surprised if one day she say to you, but you're not going to slip. I know you're going to always say good morning or good evening.
Kaiya, did you not get in trouble if you walked into a room and you didn't say good morning?
Hello. That is like Caribbean 101.
And listen, and we have this thing back home. Morning. You have to say it at least 3 times.
I heard about that.
Yeah, you got to say it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
You don't just say good morning. You say,
oh my goodness.
Morning. Or this lady at Target literally said to me the other day where she was like, good morning. And I said, morning. And I had to catch myself like, I meant
right. You
morning.
are not in New Providence. You are here. That is so cute though. Morning. We do a thing where we go inside. You guys do that? Like if you walk in and you knock on the door inside.
Oh no.
It's a thing. Yeah. The Virgin Islands.
So you're just requesting to go inside?
No, you're just inside to say, hey, it's a greeting. It's a greeting. It's a thing. It's a thing. But we do say good morning as well. That is something you have got to do.
Yeah.
If not, you will get told about
you
yourself.
Rude,
hello,
you have no manners.
No, have no manners. Yeah. I mean, it's basic, right? And so it makes sense. But I get it with the family islands. I need to do more traveling around the Bahamas. I've only gone to Nassau. Yeah, of course.
I need to definitely travel to
because
the
there's
Virgin Islands.
there's a U.S. side and there's a British Virgin Islands as well. And so my family is huge on both sides. Yeah. And so both sides of the family, my grandparents were born in Tortola, the British Virgin Islands. And so I have that influence as well. And then, of course, I've told you I was born on St. Thomas. I have family in St. Croix. So we have different islands as well, too. What makes it really cool, though, is we are U.S. territory, and I know it's different for other Caribbean nations, and so I think that makes us stand out a bit. And it's helpful, and we can touch base. I mean, going to touch on that as we continue on. Like there are subcultures within the culture.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So yeah, but I'm happy that we're doing this. I'm proud of you.
I am proud.
I can't believe
too.
we're here. How did we get here? After having again all the conversations at dinner, we would meet up and just talk about life and catch up, and we always would go back to how our culture is just a unique thing. Absolutely. And we're here, right? But we're friends first.
Right. And
I should think, let our listening audience know that.
And I think we should let everybody know how we met, right? Yeah. Even 15 plus years right, ago, where we both were working at a local hospital, right? Yes. Still in mental health, areas.
Still in the same department, different floors.
Right, same department, different floors. Yeah. And it was literally one of those.
Yeah.
I hear her accent.
Correct.
I hear her accent. And it was literally like, okay, now we click.
Yes, for sure. You always click with your Caribbean sister or brother, right? When you're living away. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you just kind of feel a sense of joy and knowing that, hey, there's someone else that I can relate to. Absolutely. If I want to talk about music, if I want to talk about food, she will get what I'm saying. Even though, again, subcultures within the culture, it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up just now too, because we want to be clear that even though we are referencing the Caribbean, we recognize that there are within differences, right? Of course. The diaspora that is known as the Caribbean, while we are similar in a lot of ways, we are different. Correct. So like, as we were just mentioning, like just difference in terms of greetings and all of those things, we are different, right? But I think when we start to discuss things like mental health and how, I guess, in terms of family boundaries and how things happen, we share, similar stories.
We have shared experiences.
And I think that's how you and I have connected, where we have talked about that over dinner,
Correct.
we have experienced each other personally, as well as, we share so much professionally too.
Correct.
That we were just like, we might as well do this.
It's the truth. Because again, I think we need community, right? Yeah. I think, again, you said it, or we've talked about it before, where sometimes I think Caribbean people are forgotten people. Yeah. They assume that because we're so full of vibes, personality is great. You go down to the Caribbean, it's relaxing. Everybody's just, there are some things that we don't talk about, right? And we just kind of stay silent on, and it's not okay for our mental health. And so sometimes we feel like, we're alone, and we don't want people to feel that way. So we've learned that, with us having our shared experiences, we need to do something, right?
We have to.
I was like, listen, we can have a group do something. But then we were like, oh, we should do a podcast. Remember, I was like, Deondra, why are we not doing a podcast?
A podcast.
And you were like, I don't know, but we should do it.
And the thing about it, though, is that we are both, as for those that know us, we are not social media.
Not really.
People
not
like
really.
That, to the point.
I share too, what I want to, and sometimes I'm not in the mood.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this is different,
Definitely
right? The
different.
fact that we are bringing our own stories, our personal experiences, lived experiences to the public.
Correct.
This is different.
Correct.
But it also, well, I don't know if you would say, but for me, I think it can also be freeing.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of stuff that we have not really shared outside, and processed.
Right. And so the thing is, the podcast thing is a new wave, right? That people say. And so I get it. People have a lot to say and talk about, right? But why do you think that we need to do this? I know it's important. I think, again, there are people out there who cannot connect the culture and clinical knowledge, or, they cannot, they've lost identity. They feel alone. They don't feel like they can talk to people about what they may be experiencing, because growing up Caribbean can be rough. Right? I mean, it's a thing. We're going to be honest in our conversations, right? That's why we're here. So I think with our backgrounds, professionally and personally, I think it all makes sense, because there are some parts of our culture, or in our culture, where there are regions, it's still stigmatized mental health.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it shouldn't.
And it shouldn't be. Yeah. And we're hoping that even just in our name, right? Culture and clarity. Yeah. We're hoping that just through these conversations that we're having, that we can all reach that place of clarity.
Absolutely.
So, the only way that something like this can continue to work is if we get feedback and we get, discussions about some of these topics, because they're necessary, I think, to be discussed, and us being able to jumpstart the dialogue, I think it's important.
Great. But we have to say, though, we do a lot on the clock. This is our off the clock time, right?
Ooh, child.
And so we're just trying to jumpstart, like she said. We're trying to give you guys, hopefully some reference or some encouragement to seek support, right? Because again, this is important. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I think there are lots of times we just stay in our spaces and think that, we're not supposed to share because of how we were brought up.
Right.
What happens in this house stays in this house kind of a thing. Fix your face. You don't go outside and let any of this stuff be known. Hello. Right? And so all of these things, sometimes we suppress these things. So we're hopeful if even just one person we can help and letting them to know that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
Even though growing up Caribbean can have its thing or things, it's okay. So this is good stuff, I think. And I hope that our followers will be happy, to keep following us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, we would not be who we are again if we did not, as Kaiya already mentioned, if we did not let you all know, though, that the goal is to help you all to feel like there is safety in discussion so that you can take this and now move forward have those professional, spaces.
Let me ask you something though, along those lines.
Yeah.
I know we've touched before on, our work, and I know for me, when I have a client, I can immediately tell when they're from the Caribbean because of certain things and how they present. But what's interesting is that I don't have too many Caribbean clients.
Same.
And that's something that can be concerning.
Yeah.
Because again, I think in our culture, you think if you see a therapist or if you talk about mental health, you're crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's not about that. That's actually I tell people all the time when they come in, that's strength. That's knowing, hey, listen, I want to be a better version of myself. And there are things that I need to improve upon. We all
everybody
can use therapy, right? It doesn't matter the background. Absolutely. To be a better version of yourself, that's a sign of strength and saying, hey, listen, I want to be better, raise my level of self-awareness so my relational awareness can be raised as well, too, how I connect with others.
And I think you bring up such an excellent point about, now we don't have, of course, statistical data to back up whether Caribbean individuals are utilizing therapy less.
Right.
But we're talking about maybe in our therapy spaces and what we've seen.
Right.
And as I start to think about that, I'm like, one, some of the unspoken messages that we have received, right, about therapy or just the vicinity of therapy is that pray about it.
Yes.
Right? And again, listen, jumper till I die. Church got a prophecy. All right. But anyway, but that's part of the reason I think why we don't see a lot of us in therapeutic spaces is because we feel like we have to choose between therapy or prayer or God.
But I like to say God made therapy providers too. So you can have Jesus and a therapist as well. That's how I see it.
I'm with you 1,000%.
Yeah.
And that in itself, we will talk about that topic as well as so many other topics.
We have a lot to
We have so many topics. And so we really want you guys to stick with us throughout this journey.
For sure.
Know that this is a journey for us too.
Right. We're learning as we go.
We're learning. Yeah. This is, just I think something that hopefully will be helpful for everybody.
I hope so. I mean, we have some fun topics to talk about. We have some not so fun topics to talk about, and when we started to do this and go down some of, the topic ideas, I was thinking, okay, well, we're only going to have a few.
Right.
But when you sit and you
sit and start to talk about it whoa.
Did your mother used to tell you this?
Child?
And did you used to hear this growing up? And you'd be like, well, wait, that really wasn't nice.
No, that wasn't nice.
It wasn't kind.
And now that I am, a grown woman, now I remember when I was told it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you start to feel those
it's like
things,
we have so much to discuss. And I think that this is a good place, a good time. And hopefully we'll do our part, right? And we just ask that, we're not looking for fame. No. We're not looking for anything like that. We just want to do our part in just sharing and hopefully helping others to maneuver this thing called wellness and growth. Mental health is a thing. Yeah.
And so as you are tuning in, right, you will notice that we have different segments of our show or our episode. Yes. And one of those episodes is where we take the time to feature a Caribbean business, right? Yes. Whether small, moderate, you know, larger in size. Right. The point and goal is to provide a space and a platform for individuals to access Caribbean businesses.
Correct. So we're promoting culture, right? We're promoting it, but again, we're also maneuvering in the wellness and growth space, right?
Absolutely.
So I hope that helps to connect and bridge the gap, as I've said before, when it comes to Caribbean culture and mental health.
So true.
So our first business feature.
And so we have a song. Feature that thing and that feature that thing. Hey, feature that thing and that feature. We can get it together by episode 2 or 3. We get it together.
Yes, madame. So we have a local business here. So interesting. Let me give you the backstory on this while you get that open. So this is our sorrel elixir.
Yes.
And I think it's mixed. So what is that? Sorrel and watermelon. Yep. And so this business is in Jessup, Maryland. I went to a expo with my daughter a few weeks ago while she was in town, and there was a lady at a table with her son, and I saw the sorrel listed on on their placard there, and I said, "Oh, they must be Caribbean." You know, as usual, I walked straight over to that table, and so she was telling me about her product, and I said to her, "Well, where are you from?" And she said Trinidad. I said, "Oh, I like to tell people when they ask me where I'm from, I said I'm from any island in the Caribbean because I feel that way whenever I go home." Be careful.
Nah, sorrel. I mean, with the company name. It is fizzing. Whoa.
It's fizzing. Okay, let it go a little bit, but I'll talk about this a little bit.
Sorry.
So the name of the company is Caribbean Breeze Tree. They're in Jessup. Son and mom is who I met. And so they do sorrel like this. It's an elixir that we have here. You can mix it with your choice of a chaser. You can do it
it's non-alcoholic.
This one is non-alcoholic, but they do offer alcoholic as well.
I'm scared to open it.
No, don't be.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, just take your time. Just take your time.
I'm going to fix myself.
Yep. Right. Take your time.
I'm going to do this off camera, just in case, okay? Just for a second.
Then come right back. Yeah. There you go. But anywho, while you're doing that, you can find them at info@cbtree.biz. That's their website information. And so they also have a phone number here. And she was the sweetest lady. They do actually... she does a rum punch as well. She does cake as well that's being offered. And on the website, you can see that there's a gift basket as well. So I think Deondra is back with our elixir. And we're going to do a toast to us starting out our very first podcast. And we're going to toast to longevity, success, and all the good things. I actually am not a big fan of sorrel, to be honest. Don't take away my Caribbean card, right? But when I tried this... I was like, oh, I could do this.
You know, and people assume that sorrel is such a wide Caribbean thing. Yeah. But it's not.
It's not.
You know, like the first time I heard of sorrel was my husband has one of his close friends is from Jamaica. Okay. And they had sorrel, and that was the first time I tasted it.
So you guys don't do it in the
We don't do sorrel. No,
that's some things that I
never knew what it was.
Even that I just said. You know, people assume that you're Caribbean, so you like spicy food, or you like.
Oh, I hate it.
I don't like spicy food, and I'm Caribbean. Hate it. Right? So they're like, oh my God, I don't eat seafood. Oh my God, you can't be Caribbean. What?
Right. Don't revoke my card.
Me. But anyway, what are we toasting to, madame?
To culture.
There you go.
And
clarity.
Clarity.
That's what you want. I like it. Let's see. I hope you like it.
Oh.
Isn't it nice? Ooh. It's even better than what I remembered it to be.
But I see why you wanted the iced chew, but no, Correct. This is good.
Isn't it good?
This is good.
And this is without the alcohol.
I could see this with like ginger ale too.
Yes.
Even though you're not supposed to mix.
Oh my God. It's so good. It's so good.
No, this is really good. And the company is...
I think it's Caribbean Tree.
Caribbean Breeze.
Caribbean Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
Breeze Tree.
Breeze Tree. Yep. Caribbean Breeze Tree.
So check them out. This is really, really good. Like I said, I'm not a fan of sorrel, but I can drink this for sure. And so, guys, we are done with our first episode. We're hopeful that you will tune into our next episodes. We have a lot to talk about. So please remember, if you want to give us any feedback, any tips, suggestions, please email cultureandclarity@gmail.com. You'll find our handles. We'll post them somewhere, on the screen in a little bit. We are going to be on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So please be patient with us as we maneuver this new space. And we are excited. So see you guys next. Look at you drinking, girl.
This is good.
Thank goodness there's no alcohol in it.
I know, right? This is good.
Well, we'll see you next time.
Bye.